And so the priest king gave an enlightening speech about the future and the destiny that he's about to embark on. And the crowds of masses throughout the entire kingdom listened intently as they understood the bittersweet occasion. Well, it's not really a bittersweet occasion, but the point of the matter is, Apollo was going to be the reigning king in his absence. Much to everyone's mixed reactions to that shocking revelation. Well, if there's any consolation, we just hope Eios made the right call to let his brother get a chance to prove himself. You know, he tries to believe in the best of everyone, but just one of those things, we just have to let time itself tell what really happens. We just hope that this doesn't lead to any disastrous conclusions, but who's to say?
That was quite the send-off speech you gave to the people, Father. It was spectacular and truly worthy of remembrance.
However, why did you decide to bring me here of all places? I've never seen anything like this before.
It's quite the unsettling place, but don't worry. I'm just bringing you here to meet my party members before we go our separate ways. This is supposed to be our discreet rendezvous point. The others should be arriving here shortly.
What do we have here? Your Majesty, who is this lovely stud you brought here with you?
My goodness, you certainly know how to flatter. My name is Eios. I'm one of his sons. You must be Titania, the legendary queen of fairies. That's certainly an amazing title.
I must say, sire, I really like your son, Eios. Why, I almost wish I could stay here just a bit longer. Talk about unfair.
Now, Titania, don't be getting any wild ideas. We have to stay on track. The very world is at stake here.
Hey, I'm just letting it be known as all. Which reminds me, Eios. I've prepared a lovely parting gift for you just before I left home. Would you like to receive it now?
Sure, I don't see why not.
Titania hands Eios a nameless, blue book.
It has a very nice fairy design on the front cover. But, what's the title?
That's the point, silly. I call it the Untitled Ambition. Whatever you need it to do, it can do it for you. Just simply call its name and command it to do whatever you need at that moment.
So, it's like an Arabian genie. Interesting.
Yes, but be warned. You only get one wish, not three.
Whoa, I definitely felt the pressure in your words just now.
Relax. You're a bright, young man. I'm sure you're more than capable of making the right choice.
Well, if you believe in me that much.
Well, it seems as if Titania found herself a younger man. Good for you.
No way, it's the legendary, dancing swordsman Gordon.
In the flesh. It's nice to meet you too.
Okay, so this just got awkward for her. Why does it feel like I'm just watching something out of an old-fashioned rom-com or something? Where, when somebody's about to confess their feelings and whatnot in front of the person they like, it's really interesting. That never gets old. Yep, and neither does Titania's affection for the Priest King, amazing.
It's been a while, Your Highness. I must say it's not every day you have a divine encounter preparing to take us up to ascend. Be honest, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Honestly, it's still a lot to process. But, it's our duties as heroes to comply for the sake of the world.
Ever the hero, I see. Always with the motivational speeches. I see some things never change.
Greetings, friends. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, George, it's you. How have you been, old buddy, old pal?
Draco Mountains was long and daunting. Wasn't sure if I was going to make it here, let alone on time.
Well, you didn't miss much. Other than the fact that Titania found herself some more eye candy is all.
Ah yes, Titania. Some things just never change, I see.
I agree. Some things never change. You two are always throwing jabs at me. I swear, you both are the absolute worst.
Please, don't be upset, old friend. I always love seeing you express yourself. You always were the spark of our party. Besides, I never meant to make you feel bad in any way. I'm sorry for all those times I came off that way.
Really? Thanks. I guess looking back, you always were the mediator between me and Gordon. So, I guess I believe you. By the way, this eye candy you're both referring to is named Eios, the son of the Priest King himself.
It's a pleasure to meet you, George the Berserker. You are clearly the muscle of the legendary heroes.
Muscle? No. If you ask me, I prefer not to fight. I do what I can to avoid conflict. But I do appreciate you for thinking so highly of me. I must say, Your Highness, you'd raised a mother-child here. Are you sure he's not king?
No, sir. I assure you that I'm just a humble researcher and nothing more.
I must say, this certainly reminds me of the good, old days.
Then, suddenly,
This looks like everyone. Are you all finally prepared?
Prepared. We're still missing someone. Have you forgotten about Ehud Ben-Jera?
No. Not even in the slightest. He's set to fulfill a different role, I'm afraid. So, he won't be joining us.
I see. Well, in that case, we're good to go.
And so, without a second too soon, the four heroes were caught up in the sky, with Lady Elpis taken to ascend as Prince Eios saw the spectacular phenomenon before his very eyes for himself. It was hard to process, but this is what started the legend, the nameless blue book that everyone's been trying to get their hands on, the Untitled Ambition. It was said to hold all kinds of superb, spectacular power that only the chosen one was able to wield. It was like an ancient relic, similar to the legend of King Arthur and Excalibur's holy power. I mean, that was like beyond incredible, and for that to be handed to him like that is like, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But for some reason, he didn't seem too ecstatic about it. Maybe Nicodemus knows something about it that he doesn't. We'll see.
Whoa, Miss Green, science fiction has got nothing on this. These people were quite literally teleported into the heavenly realms. I honestly wouldn't even know how to explain such a phenomenon to someone else, if I saw it.
Yep, you got me there. I wouldn't know how to explain that myself, either.
Also, I believe I've just uncovered a profound revelation. Did you notice that majority of the identified members of the Mubarak resemble the ancient heroes?
Whoa. That is mind-blowing.
Meanwhile, That John Doe guy was the closest thing the Mubarak had to resemble an actual crusader working in their midst. Interesting.
Interesting, indeed. So, does this imply that the Mubarak was doing everything they could do to duplicate the original heroes?
No, I'd prefer the term imitate instead of duplicate. After all, faulty imitations are no match for the original. Hence the reason for the creation of so many pseudo in their ranks. They only exist as cannon fodder and meat shields in case of invasion. Which almost in a way makes me pity those poor creatures who lack any form of true identity. Only existing to follow orders. It's quite the tragic existence.
Yes, it is.
Alright. So after the 4 heroes ascended with Elpis into the skies above, Eios returned home for a final time before heading out for the world at large. This is how things transpired.
Ah, yes. Welcome back, Sir Eios. I assume that if you're here, then both your father and the other heroes have already ascended, correct?
That was so crazy to see such power displayed before my very eyes. How could anyone remain calm after witnessing something so spectacular?
I agree. That's divine power in its purest form. You should feel honored to see such a monumental event in person. By the way, I see you with a new book in your possession. Is it a gift from a friend?
Honestly, I'm not so sure. The Queen of Fairies, Titania herself, gifted me this before she ascended. She called it the Untitled Ambition or something along those lines.
That's incredible. Lady Titania actually gifted you a signature weapon.
I'm sorry, did you say signature weapon?
So Eios, what you have in your possession is something akin to King Arthur handed Excalibur to you just for the sake of doing it.
Really? I just thought it was just a nice blue book with a nice fairy design on the front cover.
Well, it's not. Although the book looks unassuming at first glance, it's a blessed tool designed to slay the creatures of darkness. You need to prevent that book from getting into the wrong hands at all costs. If you only knew the power you now held in your hands, you wouldn't be so cavalier about this whole situation.
Then, why don't you hold on to it? Ultimate power isn't my goal. Only research and exploring this vast world.
So Eios.
It's fine, Nicodemus. If anyone can keep that book safe and hidden, I know it's you. So, what's Apollo doing right now?
Having a wild orgy taking place in the palace. He's having quite the time of his life. I can already see that there's going to be quite the hassle training that man-child to rule responsibly. I honestly had to escape here to get any semblance of peace and quiet.
Gross.
But, never mind that. What are you going to be doing now, Sir Eios? I highly doubt you're planning to stay around for the madness ensuing in this place.
No, I'm not. I'm actually here just to gather a few things, then set out in the morning to start my worldwide journey for research. I know it sounds crazy, but my heart is set out for this experience. Please, try to understand.
I understand, Your Highness. Then by all means, do what you feel is best. You have my full, unyielding support.
Thank you, Nicodemus. I'll return to you an innovative genius, one day. You'll see.
And so, Eios' worldwide journey began.